Before we wrap this up, I really would love to go over your current board setup. And I know the thing is too, is like we have talked about your pro board and everything, but I do know that, like you said before, you were riding the Steve Sias board, which has no nose. And, but for the new board, your pro board, you had put on a nose, obviously. But if we could go over kind of like your setup, like here, I'll give it to you.
Oh yeah. Let's do it. All the way from your grip tape to,
and obviously you ride these boards a lot longer than the normal board because they are flight decks and they last
you
a
can
lot
last
longer.
them for a really long time.
So like what's like when you go set up a board, like obviously earlier you said you cut the grip tape because you've always had your first board had cut grip tape. So let's check it out. What kind of grip is it?
So this is Mob grip tape this time.
Okay.
Usually I go really crazy on my grip tapes. Like usually I have like all this crazy stuff and I use Powell grip and Bones grip and all this stuff. This time I wanted to keep it really simple for my first pro board and I wanted to mimic the first board I ever had.
Oh, and that's kind of how it was.
This is exactly how it was.
This
is 100%.
Do you still have your first?
I do actually.
You do? Amazing.
Yeah, I'm very lucky that I have my entire first setup back at my mom's house.
Wow.
Yeah, so I wanted to basically mimic that board.
Okay.
So that's why it's not as crazy as it usually is. And then the rest of it is I have for this board, if you get it, you either want the best trucks you can have are size. I skate 8.75, and you can also have 9. You can have, but 8.5 are fine too. But I skate 8.75.
You stay at 8.75 trucks, and that's interesting because the widest point by the nose is how wide?
9.5,
and the least the not so wide part, the least wide part
is just a little bit below right here, is a little bit below 8.75, but the moment where it cuts over, that's 8.75 exactly.
8.75. Okay, so when you look down at the back truck, you're not
can't see it.
You can't see the wheels.
No.
Okay,
perfect.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can't see the wheels. Okay. So these are the ones I'm riding right now are 8.75 slappies.
Slappy, shout out Mike Sinclair.
Yeah, dude, Mike sent them to me, and Mike's awesome. He's a great guy. I like the 97A Bones wheels. We're making them in Dragon soon, but I like the V7 lock-ins. It's a really nice wheel shape. I like wider wheels.
More of a square wheel?
More square, so when you lock into rails and stuff, it really gets in there. Same with ledges. It's like a nice feeling.
Gotcha.
Obviously, Bones Swiss bearings.
Gotta get the Bones Swiss.
The best bearings.
Yeah,
These
are.
Oh. I have Lil Jon rails.
Excuse me real quick. Shout out to Lil Jon. We'll get back to you, Lil Jon, in a minute. But are those Bones bushings?
They are.
The Bones, but are those the hard ones?
So I have a hard one on my back and a medium one on my front.
Gotcha. Okay,
yeah.
Why?
The front is my guiding truck, and the back is my truck I want to be really sturdy on.
Stabilizer.
Yeah, so I have the front a little bit looser than the back, just because the back is like I want that to be super stable for certain grinds and for ramps, but then this guides it the front.
You wouldn't be a twinned tailboard kind of guy.
No. I don't think I ever would be. I like it to be a little different. You know, it's like just how I like it.
They have black ones now? I didn't realize.
Yeah, you can get black bushings. They're really
Sick.
nice. Yeah, super, super nice. And then I have Lil Jon rails.
Shout out to Lil Jon rails, man. They do some.
They're really good.
Yeah.
They're really good rails. He's just like a guy in Texas, just like killing it. It's like super sick to see.
He does it out. I think he's got like a machine thing.
He cuts them
himself. Yeah.
Cuts super cool. Yeah. He like does them himself. It's like, dude, what? I want to
support.
Support a small business like that. It's like. Also, they're really, really good rails. These are the Moth Johns. I know that Tim rides Lil Jon's rails all the time.
Shout out to Bailgun Gary. Also, Lil Jon's rails, we will send you an invoice for this commercial. Okay, so what else we got? Oh, the Bones. Now, here's a question. Do you put the spacers inside of your wheels?
I do. The reason I do is because originally I used to not. Okay. I also grew up skating Bones Reds, which are perfect bearing, especially for the price. Like if you can't afford Swiss, Reds are really good. I mean, I think that's everybody's classic. Like
I never went back. I never did the Reds. You did Reds.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, especially growing up, it's like at the skate shop, they were a really good price for how good they were. It's like you couldn't go wrong with it. You're gonna get your money's worth. They're great bearings. And then the Reds usually don't come with the spacer unless you get the race Reds. Okay. And then the Swiss come with the spacer, and the spacer I never used to use it because I had never used it before. And then George it was like, no, the spacer is there to really, really help the speed. The spacer actually does help. It plays a big part. It's not just there for like, oh, some people can use it. It actually is. It's really important to have the spacer.
It's meant to be there.
It is meant to be there. Yeah.
Okay, so you put the space because Roger's a big component. Roger loves he loves the spacer.
Yeah. It does help a lot actually with speed. That's the whole point of it. It keeps it very solid, and that's what you need. You don't want anything to rattle or be any off at all. The spacer keeps it solid and it keeps it going faster.
Because it almost like acts as like a whole.
It acts as basically,
it almost like connects the two bearings together.
It's like a small hanger of a truck in there. You know,
Yeah.
it's connecting them. You don't want a truck with a center taken out. It's gonna feel, it could bend one way or bend. Same thing with bearings. So
I never used them.
Yeah, me neither.
I never used them. I know a lot of people that we've asked them on the show. No, very few people use them.
Yeah. I would
do help.
not use them just because of the weight. I'd be like, this is gonna weigh my board down. Or,
Well, luckily this is a flight deck, so it weighs like way less.
Yeah.
I mean, it has
6-ply, right?
It's 6-ply.
6-ply
and it
with
has
the carbon.
has big trucks on it, and it has rails on it, and it probably feels
still light, yeah.
pretty light, even compared to a popsicle board with nothing. And this is a huge skateboard, and it feels light.
It's a big one. It's a
So-
big boy. What about the rattle on the wheels? Can you shake the wheels back and forth? And so you like them pretty close
So
to...
the tighter the wheel,
Yeah.
the faster it goes. So the whole point of having the spacers and everything, if you have those, like, so if there's obviously some people like their wheels farther because it helps them lock into grinds. I know Jamie Foy does that, where his wheels are like looser.
Yep.
But if you're riding ramps, which I like to ride a lot, the tighter the wheel, the faster you'll go because there's no friction.
There's no friction.
It's just perfectly in place how it's supposed to be. So mine are basically right on it. So yeah, not completely tightened down, but basically tightened down.
there's a very
all the way on it.
slight, like,
Very, very little. So that's just how I like it.
Yeah.
And I did notice for the hardware you do Phillips.
I do. Yeah. I do Phillips.
Why not Allen key?
Phillips is just the one that comes the most. And
What do you mean?
it's old school, bro.
It's old school, and there's not a lot of.
What about bridge bolts? You know, we want to get some more bridge bolts.
I don't know.
That's had a short period.
Also,
bro.
to be honest, I mean, most tools come with, Phillip.
Yeah.
You've always, and when I was a kid, I didn't even ever have the other one, so I didn't even know that the tools
The
even
Allen
had that.
key.
Like, I didn't even know about the Allen key, and it's more than anything. It's just I get them for free because they're bones. I don't really. If I had to have Allen key, it wouldn't bother me. I'd be like, oh yeah, cool.
7/8.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You painted the bolts white?
No, they come white.
They come like they come white.
They come white.
Oh, just white or any other colors?
Right now, the ones on the website, the bones ones come white. Yeah.
Oh, why?
Probably
Do we
just
know
because it's
that?
like skeleton,
No?
just like a skeleton, like white
Oh,
for skull
interesting.
because it's bones. So
Oh,
that's my
okay.
guess.
So it's like not a seasonal thing, but they'll
They've
change up colors.
they've usually always come white as bones ones,
Okay.
and then the mini logo ones are black.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you're setting up your board, do you have any type of madness? Do you try to do you put on grip tape in a certain way, or do you tighten the bolts a certain way?
Yeah. So that's a really interesting thing you bring up because I have really, really, really severe OCD.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
But this is the thing. So I had it so bad that I had to go and get medication for it.
Oh, really?
I couldn't function on a day-to-day thing. I had to flick the light switch a certain amount of time before I left.
Because
I
usually
was
when people say OCD, it's just about I got to
this
tap my
isn't
board
like
3
that.
times.
This
or I
is
gotta,
this was actual debilitating thing that I went through. I had so many things where nobody could touch my necklaces, and I couldn't take off a necklace. I had a necklace that I kept on, and if anybody touched it, I had to retouch it and think a happy thought when I touched it.
Oh, wow.
It literally
Yeah, very
changed. I mean, it
complex.
was my whole for 8 years. I was literally lived by the OCDs.
Oh my God.
Every single thing.
Was it debilitating?
It was bad.
This is when you were like from 0. You said 8 years from 0 to not 0 to 8.
This
but
was
what age?
probably from right as it started. Right, the worst is when it started in middle school. My very first year of middle school, all the way until maybe my sophomore year of high school.
Was it a trigger? What happened?
It was.
Why
I have
does
no idea.
It just all of a sudden you
and
had
then
it.
everything in my life revolved around it.
Crazy.
And it was so bad to where I didn't take off the necklace. I literally would have to think like happy thought, and then if I didn't think the happy thought, I have to redo a whole ritual again. I had to go back in my room, get under the covers, get back out, turn on the light, switch this. I had to do all of that.
How is it now?
I take medication for it. I purposefully do things because medication can go so far, but I purposefully do things that would make me uncomfortable.
Okay.
On purpose to make myself less annoyed by it.
Wow.
So my skateboard, I used to have to do things that were very much like this, this has to be this way or this has to be this way. Sometimes I'll flip my trucks around on purpose.
Wow.
Because I have to tell myself that there's no different.
Really?
And I'll take my bolts. I used to do like every bolt had to go in each one, the same one. I'd take that off. I put in the same one.
That's crazy.
I take them. I just throw them on the ground. I don't remember any of them. You have to purpose. I have to purposefully every day still do something that makes me uncomfortable in order to keep it at bay, because even with medication, it still could
flare up.
I mean, it can do things. I mean, it would do things where I'd be driving and I'd press on the brake and I'd think a bad thought. So I'd have to take the brake off, even if it's in a dangerous situation, until I pressed on it. It was that bad where it was literally, and there's a lot of people that struggle with it that way. And it's so, when you think of OCD, there's so many different forms of it. And I'm not just the form of like, I have to tap my board or I have to literally, like, I lived for so many years where it ran my entire life all day long. So now I purposefully try to do things, because it still obviously affects me, but I purposefully do things where nothing is the same, because I don't want it to keep controlling me. Because at the end of the day, it's like your mind is so powerful. It literally, your mind controls everything. You can sit there in a dark room, and if you believe enough that something's going to move, it's going to move. You're going to think it. I mean, it's just that's how strong the mind is. So I do things on purpose. So if you were to do something like...
What if you touch your necklace now?
Doesn't matter.
Dubs touches it.
Put him in a situation.
Dubs touches it.
It doesn't matter. Like so like a simple thing that people would be like, I can't do that. Like that'll like, what's like, can any of you guys think of an example that you do that you might not even notice? That you're like, say something about your skateboard that would change. If it changed, you might bother you.
Oh, I mean, I used to ride my board backwards my whole life.
Okay.
Until 27. But
and why'd you change?
That was the crazy part. I don't know.
Okay.
I just stopped.
That's good.
I was like, I don't know.
Because he knew it was ridiculous.
I didn't know. I guess but I did do that for a long time, and then I just stopped. Mm-hmm. I guess when you're used to something, you just do it.
Well, sometimes that will switch into a different part of your life without realizing it. So maybe, you can't start your day without drinking your favorite drink, or your day will be ruined.
Sometimes
it's like, it really can switch, and it can be something as simple as that. Mm-hmm. But for example, if I started having that again, where I had to, drink this or eat this before doing this, I would purposefully not do it and force my brain to feel extremely uncomfortable for the rest of the day. So if I had to flip on and off the light switch,
because you almost prove to yourself that it doesn't matter.
You have to prove, because that's what it's all is. It's all in your head, that you have to make sure that it's not going to change something. So I would, throw my skateboard down. I'd think something I didn't want to think, and I would have to stop and restart. And now when I do that, I'm just, no, it doesn't matter. I try it anyway. It doesn't work out. The next times, it doesn't happen anymore. Because you're just like, it doesn't matter. So then you just you have to fight. Yeah, I mean, every day I have to kind of fight my mind with it. But it's something that's important to me to work on.
And if you don't take the medication, do you see effects? Or have you even gotten to that point?
So I still take it, but it definitely would be a little bit harder without taking it. And I'm not on here to advertise, taking medicine and all that stuff. But so there is sometimes that it can help you get to where you need to go. For sure. And there's no shame in taking medicine. I mean,
not at all.
Not at all. I think that and if you need it, then you should try it. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be a permanent thing. You don't have to be dependent on it for your whole life. But, you take steps. Every day is a step. Every moment is a step. Even with depression and all that stuff, it's like, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to want to help. I mean, that's another thing that I wanted with my board, is that if you see someone at the park that has it and you have it or anything, maybe that person doesn't have friends that is at the skate park, and they feel and it's the first time they've ever really been to a skate park, and they have, they feel really isolated, and that happens a lot. And a lot of times skaters are just like, oh, they're in the way or they're doing this. It's like, go up and talk to that person. You don't know what they're feeling. You don't know what they're thinking. It's like that person could just be really scared. And it's like, weren't you all really scared the first time you went to a park? Why judge someone because they're, in the corner or they're like, don't want to, it's like we all start in the same way. And maybe some people are feeling worse about their days and having a bad day. It's like, just go talk to them sometimes. It's something as simple as that. You get one compliment going down the street, like, your hair looks really good. You think about that for the rest of your day. For the rest of your year, maybe sometimes. You're like, that guy said it was really good looking. Like, it's something as simple as that can really help someone that's feeling bad.
Big time.
And I really want, mental health to be talked about more, not just in skateboarding, but in life in general.
Something that somebody says to somebody that's negative can have effect on them all day, all month, all year, for the rest of their life too. So we have to think about that as well.
It can. It really matters.
What was the thing, though? I asked you about, do you have any quirks or anything setting up your board, any OCD, and you were about to go into it? Do you have something, or is that just a story about the OCD?
Yeah, I think that it's because I had it so much that I don't have it at all, because I purposefully try to make sure. And that was another thing. That's why riding different types of skateboards doesn't bother me. Okay. And where it's like, oh, this doesn't help. Like, I can't do this trick anymore because I'm riding this shape or this shape. I spent so long trying to get out of my mind of being comfortable that I would ride things and it would feel uncomfortable, but it would almost be comforting because I would feel uncomfortable, and that's okay to feel uncomfortable.
So you purposely don't have any type of madness setting up a board because
on purpose.
If you, I understand. I get
because
it.
It's just like in life. Yeah. You can feel really, really comfortable with this being your daily routine or this and that. It's like you have to be okay with being uncomfortable in order to help yourself in any ways. So it's like kind of a nice thing to take the whole skateboarding and put it into my life and in that aspect. So it's kind of cool.
I love it, dude.
I never would have guessed that from you, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
really?
I don't know why, but you're just because you're like, I think it started off with the grip tape. I mean, if you were that OCD, you'd have the grip tape the same every single time too.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no, I switched it up with this one.
I always change it.
I never pictured that. That's like I said, you work on yourself, dude. That's good for you, dude.
I mean, it's the only thing you can do to stay human and to stay progressing in life, especially if you're at a state where I was at, where I didn't know if I would want to be here the next day, because that happened a lot, where I didn't want to even continue to be here.
Right.
And I have to push myself and fight even all the time where I have those days. And you have to remind yourself that it's all right to not be okay, because it will be okay again.
Yeah.
You can't have a great day unless you have a bad day to compare it to.
Exactly.
And it's just how it is.
Well said, bro. Big well said.